West Bengal is not a country. It's just a state in India. But it is so corrupt, we just have to have it on the list. Again, another reason why the Lord Chaitanya did appear in West Bengal. It's like, really, it's just terrible. You practically speaking, cannot buy a bottle of water in West Bengal without giving a bribe to the shopkeeper. I'm exaggerating, but it's like, it's just amazing, it's just amazing. Particularly when you come from countries like this, it's just incredible what goes on. So anyway, we couldn't get permission on that piece of land. And then we just thought, well, listen, Prabhupada laid a foundation stone on this piece of land. This piece of land is designated as Mandir land. That's its designation. That's what Prabhupada got it designated as when we first got it, Mandir land. So they can't stop us from building a mandir on Mandir land, these kind of. However, here's a really funny thing. There's always a fly in the ointment. Taking that again as the piece of land where we're building, there was in one corner, I'm not sure which corner it was, there's this slither of land that represented less than half an acre out of the 24. So just a tiny little stretch of land. That was designated. The rest was 23.5 acres was designated Mandir land, but this tiny little piece of land was designated Pukar land. Pukar means water, a water thing, And don't ask me why, but in West Bengal, Pukar land is like really sacred, and they really don't like, rezoning it. And you think, well, why is that? I mean, the place floods all the time anyway. It's just unlimited water, But somehow or other they got this thing about Pukar land, It's like, oh, Pukar land, Pukar land. I said, oh my God, Now we have 23.5 acres of Mandir land. We've got this half acre of Pukar land, which was strategically placed. It's not that you could build around it, Somehow or other we had to get it done. But anyway, somehow or other we got that. We managed to get that sorted, and they rezoned it. Oh, Prabhu, I tell you, I've been in Mayapur, as a co-GBC for 13 years now. If you want your patience tested as a devotee, in terms of, developing the quality of patience and tolerance and forbearance and equanimity and all those wonderful qualities that are described in the various places in Shastra, go live in West Bengal,
And get something done now.
yeah, exactly. Get something done now. Okay. Did I see someone's hand up? And then we should finish, right?
Yeah. No, it was just about this simplicity. Right now, I just love very much activity of Purnima, like this simple purple and the bamboo and do everything like this, and this is like. Do you think that will prevail, like the simplicity, also together with expansion? Yeah?
Actually, as I said, I have a presentation on my computer which would go into lots of those different kind of details. But just to simply answer your question, it's called the Panchatattva village, and it's going to be all bamboo huts and completely simple living, high thinking type arrangement in one part of Mayapur. The plans are already there. I haven't actually started it yet, but the plans are already in place and everything's there, ready to go, more or less straight away. And it will be there'll be no electricity there. And it'll all be bamboo huts. I mean, right off the top of my head, I'm struggling to remember some of the other different special features that it will have, but it will have many, many special features, but they're all environmentally friendly, simple living, high thinking. So there's a whole place that's going to be dedicated to that. But then there'll also be a Navadvip section to Mayapur, displaying the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. There'll be a Vrindavan section, which will be all forests and displaying, all of Krishna's leelas. There'll also be a Dwarka section, which will be very grand, where the taller buildings will be, and that's where the main avenue will be, and different embassies from yatras around the world. There'll be a big new kind of convention centre built there as well, where the GDC will meet and all that kind of stuff. There'll be a really first-class hotel on that section as well for wealthy people who want to come, but they want to stay in a nice kind of facility. So there'll be all those. There'll be Dwarka section, Vrindavan section, Navadvip section, that Panchatattva village, which will be very, very simple living, high thinking. So there's going to be all of that. And the other thing that we're trying to do, because it's difficult to do everything and to be on top of everything. But we made mistakes. We made mistakes in Mayapur. It's not so much we made mistakes. Well, we did make mistakes as well. But it's a question of sometimes it's difficult to anticipate what's actually going to happen. And we didn't anticipate, this incredible, what do we call supply and demand? This incredible demand for people who want to come and live in Mayapur. And that kind of took us by surprise, and what happened then was people were buying pieces of land, they're building these high-rise buildings and selling apartments like that. And particularly in a couple of particular areas, as you look out from the, well, depends where you are of course, but behind the long building, behind the Gala building out that way, a couple of areas in particular, one area in particular called Gornagar, which really has, it was all unplanned development done by private kind of people, and they had no interest in creating nice facilities and green areas and all of that kind of thing. All they wanted to do was build these buildings as high as possible and get as much money for their apartments as possible. So now we're working to rectify all of that, and we'll actually take some of those buildings down and create more green space and all that kind of thing, but it will take some time. But yeah, it just took us by surprise. There was suddenly this huge demand. And actually that's something, because there's only half a dozen of you or whatever, 10 of you in the room or whatever it is, so it's not a big audience that I'm speaking to. But don't whimsically buy apartments in Mayapur, don't do it whimsically. Don't just think because someone's selling an apartment in Mayapur, oh, it's Mayapur, it must be fine, it must be wonderful. No, there are authorized projects and there are unauthorized projects, and as well as helping to keep the dam as beautiful as possible by buying from an authorized source, you'll also get a better quality apartment from an authorized source than you will from just someone who's just literally just trying to make as much money as they can. Yeah, so that's happening as well as far as the project is concerned. Okay, Temple of the Vedic Planetarium Ki.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
Jai.